Welcome to War Games, hosted by the sales genius Joe Ingram. If you're looking to win the sales battle, then you have joined the right team. In the War Games group, we devise strategies for sales, marketing, branding, mindset, and attitude. We enlist the assistance from the most successful producers across all industries. We then share their knowledge and techniques with you. Our single goal is to get you ready for your next sales opportunity. When it comes to crossing the minefield of sales, step in the footprints of those that have crossed before you. Now, prepare yourself for boot camp and beyond. It's time for the War Games to begin.
We play a game.
Hello, War Gamers. It's another wonderful day here in Southern California. Today, I'm going to be excited because I'm always excited when I get to bring friends on, especially super competent individuals that come in and are going to share some of their expertise with us. But let me tell you a little bit about Allyn. She is editor and host of WooManity, and it's a leadership development hub. And let's be real, we need leadership. Is that right? In every aspect of our life. So that's where she's going to come in and share some expertise with us. Also on sales, because she's a master at that. She's on a mission to build soul literacy in humanity. And I'm assuming we're going to actually learn how to get some soul back into our businesses as well. But she's passionate about books, beauty, and impact, possesses a curiosity about the origin of ideas, right? Because she and I can go back and forth on that one. She enjoys assisting others in reaching full potential and being an amplifier to their missions. So again, how passionate are you about your mission? Are you on point? And she's the one that's going to help you. So I like the fact that she was the first Filipina to summit Mount Kilimanjaro in 2010. Honestly, that's like not a small feat. Switch with me so you get bigger. But that is completely impressive that you went through that. So just because it was there, is that what it was? So,
yes, you can't help it.
She was like, it was there, it was mocking me, and I had to go out there and go climb it. That makes sense. Yes. Brian Galke, welcome. You know Allyn as well.
Hi, Brian.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Yeah, so she's also a producer. She did Wishman. That was the movie about the life of the Make-A-Wish founder. Okay, she's the founder of the Secret Knock conference, which is phenomenal. That was the one Brian and I were at. That's where we hung out with her last. Right. And so it is phenomenal. So you have so much going and you've created so much success in your life. I think it's great that your desire is let me help other people. And I want to shut up and throw it over to you because I think I'm going to take away from anything you've got that you're ready to share with us.
Oh, gosh. So a lot of people think soul or soul work is like, sort of a woo-woo, internal inner work kind of thing.
Brian says that a lot,
but it's incomplete to only do the inner work. You have to integrate it into your daily lives, into our daily lives, meaning how we interface with other people in our businesses, at work, our families. And since this is a show on sales, I'm going to say that you can make a sale without selling your soul.
Wow. Okay. So that was a bad bargain on my part. Now I learned.
You can sell with your soul, in fact.
Okay. Yes. I have to buy it back first.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And so, I would say the first thing, the part of why I've been able to create all I've created is because I've always had help, one. And two, I'm okay with moving forward without a blueprint. Like before I made a movie, I was not a movie producer. Okay. Before I created an event and a conference, I was not an event producer. Before I was a publisher, I was not a publisher. With that said, I love to read. So what do publishers do? They read all day. Okay. I do love to gather people for a common cause, Secret Knock. And really that one kind of happened by default because I I actually stumbled on my first event when I was 17 years old. I created my first one around talent. It was a talent show at my high school, and it put my school in the green. It was the first time that they were not going to lose money that year, because the admissions from those tickets for our talent show would help them just kind of get over the hump. So, and the same for movies.
That had to be huge for the school.
Well, they're still going after last time I checked, that they're still having it on. So
that's amazing. Because again, the school is like, here's the money I get from the state. And you were like, you know what, guys, let me give you a little bit back. We're going to build it out this way.
It didn't start out that way. I actually noticed how my classmates would be gone a lot. I'm like, where's everybody going? Like, why are they gone for weeks at a time? And it turned out that there were professional Tahitian dancer in competition traveling around the world as my classmates. Bollywood actresses, rather. I went to an all-girls school. And I'm like, that's what they're doing? Nobody knows this about you. Oh my goodness, we need to have a show. Like, nobody knows this. And so really that was the first, inkling of that. And it just so happened to make money after.
That's phenomenal. Brian does like the Polynesian dance. I've seen him do it a couple times.
It's the best shirts. They fall off my legs. So,
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So then that's the first step to say, I'm going to go change the world. I'm going to highlight other people. Yes. I noticed that's a theme with you too. Sorry to jump in, but the theme is you do enjoy highlighting others. You do enjoy pushing them forward. And I mean, there's not a lot of people like that, Allyn, at all.
I mean, to a fault, really. Some people, I want it more than they do.
I believe it. I believe it. Yes.
But you know what? I am a firm believer in not selling anything you're not feeling. If you're not vibing with it, even just a little bit, don't do it. Take on only things. Be a champion only for things and people and events that it really lands at your core, that you'll have fun talking about it over and over. It's like a singer. Don't sing songs you're not going to enjoy singing over and over, because if you have to go on a 300 city tour, it's going to suck.
Big time. Big time. I get that. So my wife does that with shopping. Right? She goes in and she says, if I pick it up, now she'll go load the whole cart with all kinds of stuff. And then she'll look and go, if it doesn't move me enough to want to go stand in line at the register, we leave it there. And then my oldest son always would sit there and look at her and go, well, there's 2 hours I'm never going to get back of my life. And this was at the age of 10. He's like, oh my goodness, we load the cart, push up, and now we walk away without it. But it's the same mindset, right? If you can't be passionate about it if you just tolerate it.
Yes, I actually have an upgrade to that, because I used to do that. And I thought, to your son's point, gosh, this is a waste of time. So for about 3 months or a quarter, for about 3 months, I would monitor everything I spent money on. And I would categorize it. And I'd look at the ratio of the categories and go, okay, do I really like all this stuff? Do I really like eating out and food this much to spend, 60% of my discretionary income on it? And I find, no, actually, I love books, but I'm like, I spent less than 1%. So I had to find what stuff I valued versus stuff I just bought.
Right.
And now I have a shorthand. I do books, jewelry, chocolate. If it's none of those three things, could care less.
Wait. I would have to say, isn't it not shoes? You always have these like amazing high heels and shoes and stuff in all the Secret Knock events. So I think you left that part out, right?
She also left all the dresses that she wears to this too.
Right? Yeah. I was going to bring up, and I apologize for being late, and I'm going to have to leave here in a few minutes. But this was the first time you created Secret Knock Women, right? So how did that come to fruition?
Actually,
oh my God, I wonder if Joe's ready with the link.
I was actually, thank you. Yes, I was actually running a women's group behind the scenes ever since Secret Knock was around, but it's never been formally, been on a stage, if you will, until about maybe 5-6 years ago. And I was absent from that part of the business. I really was like not. I was in my grand hermitage, as I call it. And so last year I got back, I patched back in as a co-host because somebody dropped out. And when I got there, I realized how off the rails it was, how off mission, how off everything. And it's like stuff like that'll get me sinking in. I'm like, wait a minute, let's just start over. And so yes, the Secret Knock, I'll be co-hosting it with Susie Miller. We're hosting about 70 women in San Diego in June 27th.
27th, yes.
But it's just completely about camaraderie. Before collaboration, men and women and men-to-men interactions can jump into collaboration straight away, but women to women can't.
I believe it's where women of substance build camaraderie.
Yes,
Ooh.
it is.
Yeah, I just read that off the website. It's
Thank
not
you.
that I thought that up, Brian. Yeah,
I thought you were using
he already thought that up.
there.
With it. Yeah. So let's look at that too, right? And I'm just breaking it down. So one of the things that I was intrigued with in the bio, right, as we go through, was that you're always looking for like the superheroes. What's the superpower within the other person to go through? Like you just said, I was in a women's group. I stepped away. I came back, and I had to right the wrong that was there, right? So you're in there going, woof, cape starts flapping in the wind. Here comes Allyn, right? You stay Clark Kent way too long, right? If we leave you alone, and then you go, no, I'm needed, and you come out. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And as we were talking before this, was you're also stuck in superhero mode right now because it's been so many things you're doing to get to that point, and you are just the eternal giver to try to help people that goes through. How do you determine who you're going to work with or who you're looking for? Because I think a lot of us, like Brian and I, will be the same way. We help people because we believe it's the right thing to do, right? Regardless of who they are. And so I look at it and I go, okay, superhero, tell me what we should be looking at. Not saving the cat in a tree with our superpowers. But
I love this question. Okay. Because how you pick the people you want to work with is you first put your commissions aside, the money that you need aside, and just go, what kind of person do I really enjoy being with? Because I don't work with everybody. I can't. I'm too temperamental. I'm too direct. I don't do fluffy too much. It's a little too hard on some people, but there's people who it's perfect for. They're like, we don't want the fluffy. Don't do fluffy. Please just tell us directly what I need to know in 2 minutes that someone would take me an hour to tell me, So the people I work with are generally in getting out of professional mode, and they're transitioning into their mastery phase of their life. And so it's somebody who's very good at what they're doing, but there's like this calling that's a lot of times they're not even able to articulate. But there are people who are used to doing, so they're going to try until like they land onto something. And so I have been actually attuning myself to being able to receive those people, because I'm very go, and when I don't attune myself to how they are, it's almost too slow for me. But I so enjoy working with them because they're so good at what they're doing. They're so interesting to work with, and usually they're from whatever. It doesn't even matter the industry, but when their calling lands for them and it's hard for them to decipher, I have so much fun mirroring to them their mastery and to help them decipher the frequency that they feel into the 3D world. How do you translate that into work, life's purpose? So if it has nothing to do with any of that, I can't do it. I'm just not capable. It's probably going to fall apart. I'm going to miss a meeting. Like all these things usually are clues for me because I don't miss meetings. I don't even wake up to an alarm clock, and I somehow wake up on time for whatever I need to go to. But that's my life right now. Like, it's that kind of like scheduled synchronicity, if you will.
You're in flow.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yes.
no, I think that's great. So I like it. I like to go take your commission out of it and then say, do I want to do it? But what the thing it took away from me, right? Because I'm really big into this too, is that the frequency that you were saying, right? Not frequency of how often, it's the frequency that they put out, right? And so if they've got a sour vibe to them, you definitely don't want to put there, right? And I will tell you, because I know I have clients that from the second I signed them, right, while I was signing them, going, they're going to be the biggest pain in my butt, period, right? And the answer is, but it's revenue. Okay. And then you turn around and go, yeah. And then as soon as you do, it costs you so much more later in sanity, peace of mind, and overall health, because you're going, I'm now stuck with this person who thinks that they're paying me too much, right, for what they get, and they're not grateful for it. And you knew it in the beginning.
I already said sorry, Joe. No reading.
Yeah.
The exception to that signing that contract is if you have a salesperson on staff who is a better fit on the frequency of that. But someone with an attitude where they think they're paying you too much is always a no.
Right. I just know that it comes afterwards. They're exciting in the beginning, but when you got that rub, right, that wrong vibe, it's going to flip later to become this, I'm not getting enough value from it. And I'm like, that's mainly because of your ego and attitude. But
yes.
So
yes.
That's fantastic. Okay. So you have Secret Knock. You came up with this for Secret Knock. Then you said, I'm going to break it out and do Secret Knock women. Right. My next question, Allyn, is what's next? What else are we doing?
Not Secret Knock kids. No.
No, that was gonna be my next question. Okay. I thought that was coming next. Okay.
No.
No, what about Secret Knock pets? Right? You get all the pets together in one room and listen to all the dog moms and dog dads. Right.
That may be the easiest one to pull off ever.
It's true. They're like, yes, we can do that. So okay. So if someone right now is just getting started, so the show caters and we get so many people that watch the repeats afterwards because it's literally 2:00 in the afternoon or 4:00 for Brian because he's not cool in California. So somebody is brand new, right? Right now, we already know that I love what you said, which is you're okay with moving forward without the blueprint. Okay. So I need to clarify that a little bit more, but you said don't sell anything you don't love. Okay. Take commission out when you're deciding who you work with. Okay. What else can a brand new salesperson or somebody who, like, for example, like I'm always very selfish in this show because I put it on. I can be, right? My bride is now, she's looking at how does she become an entrepreneur as opposed to being an employee, which again, security has always been that main focus for her. How does someone make that jump?
Okay. So there's a lot of value placed around security in that it's only established in employment. And I actually also have had this juncture in my life, and I had to really look at what actually makes me feel secure. If there's not a war going through my front door, why am I not feeling secure?
Oh, I like that. Yes.
That's really what it came down to after many days of like just noodling on this, like, why would this external thing called a job make me feel secure, or a label called entrepreneur make me feel insecure? How did I buy into this? Is this real? What is this? And I count all the ways that I think make up my definition of security. You know, a schedule, having a car, like having extra money that I can pay car things with in case something happens, stuff like that, right? And I'm like, and if I didn't have those things, I'm going to say to myself, I'm not secure. I grew up and I'm alive. We had no money. We barely had food. You know, my mother had to ask for food. Like, when I look back, evidence says I was secure. I'm safe. I'm here. I'm in America. And so I would work through what makes up that word secure and have not be in such a power under, but have power over it. We are the ones that have power to make ourselves feel secure. And it takes no man, no job, no anything to really compromise that, And I mentioned the word war because there was a war when I was little. She broke out in my outside her front door, and I was like, "What's happening? Don't go out." I'm like, "Okay." I hear thundering though, like people. Just don't go out. Don't open the door. Okay.
Well, you bring up a good point. In school, we're taught don't fail. Oh, don't get an F, if you're not an A or B student. And then even that, it's, well, you better get a good job so you can get that 3% raise. And to answer your question, I think it's ingrained into the school of the worst thing that could ever happen is you could fail or get fired. And I can tell you, like, living in the fear of being fired or being unemployed was a lot scarier than actually being unemployed and starting a business. But it's that fear that's instilled in you the entire time because companies needed workers. And most of school was for the industrial revolution, right? So they wanted factory workers, they wanted managers. And there was really a lack of skill to be an entrepreneur versus where we live today. Correct. We're sitting here in 3 different locations having a good conversation that is being dispersed across to LinkedIn and other social medias. That couldn't happen in our parents' generation, right? Yeah. You had to hope and pray for a good job to survive.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah,
and I would say the second thing is to just let go that, of the label employee and entrepreneur. I actually don't like to apply the word entrepreneur even to myself. I mean, I don't work for anyone, yes, but I like cringe at like somebody calls me an entrepreneur. I'm like,
You prefer guru? Is that
no, even any of that, I'm like, it's more like I just make things. I
woo-roo.
The soul. Yes, I love all things soul, all of that.
Right.
The entire thing. I just study the soul. That's it.
No, that's amazing. Because again, I do believe there's a lot of people that have that issue. And Brock said that was true, Brian. So evidently you're not lying because Brock has validated it on that one right there for you. He did say hi, Brian, earlier too. So.
Right. He didn't say hi to you, so I know you didn't show it on the screen. It's fine.
Hold on. I'm sorry. What was that? I don't know. Was that before he said it to you? Yeah, about 12 minutes, but who's counting, right? And so when you look at it, I look at it as well. Because to me, one of the running jokes now is it's a wantrepreneur instead of an entrepreneur. And I think that's where it sours the entrepreneur, because anyone who's unemployed goes, well, I'm an entrepreneur. And you're like, well, what do you do? And they're like, sit around and wait for the next job. Right. It's like, that doesn't make you an entrepreneur. Right. Yeah. So I logged into Alibaba and I saw their stuff I could buy. Yeah. Okay. That still doesn't make you the entrepreneur. Get out and sell something. Right. Yes. And so, but I look at that and say, okay, so now, right. I love the fact, let's go back and define security. What makes up the word? The big thing, I know Brian hit it too, because both of our heads were bobbing up and down like a little dog in the back window of a car. And it was like, okay, power over the word, not being under the power of the word that you're looking at as far as security or anything. It applies all over the place. Yes. So Secret Knock Women, I know because I was lucky enough to go to Secret Knock that was there. So I know Secret Knock Women, I'd have to dress up or drink Bud Light to go to. But so... And so, but when I look at that, talk to me about WooManity. Okay, what is WooManity?
WooManity is satire because I have a streak of woo-woo in me, and I'm realizing humanity is in a crux in consciousness where we don't relearn our woo-woo part, the soul part of our existence. We are easily going to succumb into artificial intelligence, but the soul is what holds the authentic intelligence, the real AI. And so AI, artificial intelligence, is really just a mimicry of the real source of intelligence, us and the divine and the consciousness. And so
you and me, not
yeah,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Don't worry, he won't understand it till later.
Well,
But
that's okay. I do have to leave, but it's not because of that comment. I have to run, but I wanted to stop by and say hi. And I just dropped the other ones off at the airport a little bit earlier. So I was around Secret Knockers all day today.
Yes, you will.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll see y'all later.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank
Appreciate you. Okay, so let's go woo. Okay, because I'm one of those guys. I'm very stoic in most of my thought processes, and I do have another friend, Amy Lee, who's very woo when it goes through. But I keep finding that there's a way to explain woo scientifically in almost every situation that you look at, and it's not as far off. It's just how it is explained or introduced and stuff.
Correct.
So like the true intelligence that you speak of that comes from us, where are we getting that? Where is that? What's the tap in mechanism that you see compared to what other people are going? I'm just going to go over to Bard or Chat GPT and type it in, and and it all came from somebody else's mind. But
okay, so that is what is the soul. It is a very much a part of our existence. It is something we're highly uneducated about, and what it is an operating system. And it is what is meant to coordinate it, our heart and our mind. Everyone's chasing after alignment and coherence between heart and mind. Well, I'm sorry, but it's neither of those things is going to align one to the other. A heart can only be a heart, and the mind can only be the mind. The orchestrator of the symphony, of the orchestra, is the soul. And so when you think about even the phone, right? There's an Android operating system, and there is what? An Apple operating system, correct? Mac. All right. And there's apps in there, is there not? So the apps so the apps, one app is the mind, one app is the heart, one app is our arm, one app is the stomach, one app is the gut, one app is your leg. And here we are navigating life through one app, mostly our mind and our mindset, without any understanding that there's a bigger operating system that holds all of these apps together and in place and coordinates it all. And
so if anybody's really slow, is that the Android soul? Because we know the iPhone soul is working so much better. Yeah.
And so, you notice that an app doesn't fix itself, right? Like the mind isn't going to fix itself. Everyone's doing all these reindeer games with mind things, mind whatever. I'm like, you guys are playing mind games. You come at it from engaging your soul and picking up practices that engage your soul on a daily basis. Then the mind will be taken care of. Then the heart will be taken care of. Then coherence between the two will be taken care of.
Wow. Okay. That right there is like $1 million seminar she just dropped, like it was nothing. Right. So that means she's on the other side already, because she's already got that, where the soul is orchestrating her heart and mind and getting it in the right spot. And if you ever meet her in person, exactly, you feel it, right? You can feel the security. You can feel, right, the confidence. You can feel the, for lack of a better word, the zen that is in her. There's nothing shaking her up. And so, but no, the way you just explained that, just, again, my head went click, click, click. And of course the soul goes, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And as it comes through, because you don't have
when it comes to sales, by the way, FYI, when I sell, I don't sell to the mind or to the objections. When I'm coming across objections, I realize I've been talking to the mind. I sell to the soul of the person.
I'm writing that down. Soul selling.
Yep.
Could sound like you're evil, but you're doing it different.
It can be construed both ways.
Yes. Debbie is here. Yes. Debbie, Allyn would be a great guest on your show too. So Debbie has a show called Find It, which is people going through their life and how they find that thing. And right now, Debbie, what she just shared with us was absolutely Find It. So, but looking at the soul selling, not to the mind. So you don't run into a lot of the typical objections everybody else would come through, because you're not trying to engage them intellectually. That goes through. You align their heart and mind together while you're talking to them, and then it becomes a very easy hand over my checkbook. Yes.
Correct. That's it.
Oh, okay. Just seriously, it's like gold nugget after gold nugget after gold nugget. That's amazing. Thank you. Now, is your Secret Knock Women sold out?
It's not. I think we have room for 10 more people.
10 more people. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to make sure we do that one more time. So we are getting women to build camaraderie. So the expected outcome after you go to this event, because I have many women business people, we're not going to say entrepreneur, right? Women business people that, again, isn't part of the problem that most people have when they start a business is they're alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that group that they can fall back on, which is one of the reasons I put together war games for salespeople, was to say, come on, you're not alone. We'll go in there. I'll grab information from the smart people I know and put it out there for you, because people need it. And not every company would want to invest in their people. Not every person believes in investing in themselves just yet. So it would take more from that. But so what can we expect if we are a female person with a business and we can say, let's go spend some money and go visit you in San Diego?
Well, you are going to be with a caliber of people that I personally vetted. And I talk to every single one. I do not allow for anyone to hide. I want to know the good, the bad, the boring. So, and because of that, I've been able to tailor the whole day around bonding with self, bonding with another, understanding the ask, understanding the art of the response. And at the end of it, that not only would you have great friends that you've been working with all day in a safe, secure, vulnerable, intimate manner, that you would also be empowered, encouraged to operate as a woman in business, not just to go plug into where you've been and go act like how you've been acting, but to get creative. What does that mean? To have your work fit into your life, not just you fitting into your work.
Excellent. And again, how needed is that in the world today? I'm going to tell you, it's like air at this point, right? That you look at. So fantastic. I have taken you for the 30 minutes that I begged you to come on and share with us for. So I don't want to go and abuse the time, but one of the guys, I want to recap because she nailed it today, right? One of the biggest takeaways was be okay with moving forward without the blueprint of how to do it, right? Get in there and start doing it. She wasn't a producer until she became a producer, right? She had never done this stuff before she did it. And so we'll get better at it after we've completed it. Okay. And go through there. Don't sell anything you don't love. Okay. You have to have some kind of inkling of good feeling towards it in order for you to do it. Right. Break down what you have an issue with the word of security. Okay. In any of the things that hold you back, right? You need to have power over it, not let it have power over you, which was fantastic, right? Your soul, okay, orchestrates the heart and mind. You're working on the wrong element if you're trying to do that. And I think, now I'm going to ask you too, Allyn, because to me, I've always been the one that said, there is no such thing as work-life balance.
No, there isn't.
Right? And I say the only reason people get stressed and search for work-life balance is because when they're at work, they're thinking about what they're missing in life. Mm-hmm. And then when they're living their life, they think about what they're not doing at work. And that just spreads everybody so thin because you don't have a line drawn between the two. But if you're using the soul and you're fulfilling the soul, then you would never come across that, right? It would just be passion in both situations.
Yes.
So, yeah. And I got all that from her today. So fantastic. So with your permission, Allyn, I will introduce you to Debbie.
Of course.
Yes, because again, I think Debbie's show will go deeper into what makes up Allyn Reid and go through, and I think people will benefit from that. But I thank you so much for carving out time in your day. You're definitely a blessing to the entire group and every person that's going to watch this on the replay, and even that Brian guy who had to jump out early. So from being in Texas and stuff. But I got the picture today from Tia standing next to him going, "Hey, look, Joe, how come you're not here?" Yeah. I said, they don't invite me because it's too much sexy in one room.
You got the FOMO, Joe?
Yeah, exactly. So perfect. Thank you so much. And again, you can find her WooManity. And I'd also suggest June 27th, go to the Secret Knock Women and apply. And that you're going to have to meet the apply guidelines, right? Which I'm sure is going to be, you have to have a soul as the first step.
Yes,
You're
it is.
a heartless person. Don't apply. Don't apply. So thank you so much. Allyn, I appreciate you so much for sharing your time. Everybody else, get out there and sell something. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Joe.